Hello everyone, and happy Thursday to you, and welcome to the kickoff of the Hollapalooza on the Jack Valentine channel. Now actually on Tuesday technically probably was the kickoff, but this is like the grand kickoff of the Hollapalooza. What I mean by Hollapalooza is I decided we were going to be ending April on a haul only basis. Of course there will still be What Sold Sundays on Sundays, but every other main schedule video Tuesday, Thursdays is going to be a haul, and that is because the bins have been hitting so freaking hard lately. Today, we are beginning a journey of one of the best bins hauls I have ever had in my career of being a reseller. This is top 5 for certain. There's so much stuff, and all of it is so good. This haul is so large that it is definitely going to be 2 parts, and it's possibly going to be 3 parts. I have 2 full IKEA bags of clothes. I have an array of shoes and accessories laying out in front of me, and I genuinely feel like this is going to be 3 parts just because I want to give all of these items the time they deserve. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are excited. This haul is going to be mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. You can probably tell by the thumbnail already that there are insane finds. So in this part of the haul, we are going to start off with the shoes and accessories. We probably will slightly begin the clothing, but we're not gonna get super far. I'm probably gonna keep this around 30 minutes in length, and then we'll move on next Tuesday. So in this bins haul, I spent like $250. Here is a photo of my cart leaving the bins on this trip, and it was crazy. I stayed there so much longer than I normally do, and I was just grabbing, not even Googling things. It was so much in all categories. So no matter if you catch this part 2, part 3, you see them all, you only see one of them, you're gonna see some amazing stuff. So let's just get into it. Let's start off with the couple accessories and stuff. So first up, we got 2 ties. And this is a brand of ties that I have not tried before, but as you guys know, I do like selling luxury and high-end ties. They are from the same brand. This one is a red polka dot, and as you saw, the other one is like a black striped. And these are by Gianfranco Ferre, or Gianfranco Fair. I'm not exactly sure of the pronunciation on it, but this is a super, super high-end brand. Of course, I'd rather find something else from this brand besides ties, but I'm not gonna skip the ties when I see them. I usually have pretty good luck with these. They'll probably get me, I don't know, like $30, $35 or something like that. But I'm excited to check that off of my Bolo list because that's certainly a Bolo brand. Then we have 3 belts. So the first belt is this really, really cute, I guess, croc embossed belt. Yeah, that's like croc embossed. It's just a little, it looks a little different than usually. It's like smaller scales than I usually picture a croc embossed to be. But this is a fossil belt. I don't always pick up fossil belts to sell, but I can tell this is a newer and nicer one. It is definitely real leather, and it is a size large. But the nice thing about this belt is it has holes all over. So you could probably be a lot of different sizes and still get this to work. It would just, I guess, overlap a bit more. Then the next belt is this really nice belt. Again, we got real leather. This has these like 3 extra D-rings here, just kind of as, I guess, decor or accenting. This is by Urban Outfitters. I don't always pick up Urban Outfitters belts either, but this one being real leather, I definitely want to give it a shot. Also, it was nice and just kind of classic. This is a size medium, and I'm assuming that is a women's sizing. I have not measured any of this, so I will, at some point when I list this, measure and put that in. Side note, when I'm filming this, it is like almost a week ago from when you're seeing it. I don't have anything listed as I'm filming this, so I can't give super specific info on some of it, but by the time you see it, I would like to think that basically everything you're about to see will be listed. Next and last for belts is this kind of asymmetrical sized belt. This side is really skinny and it gets way wider at the other side. Again, a nice classic, just gold buckle. So this belt I could not find a brand on, but it stood out to me just with how cute the style was. Plus I could tell it was real leather. And upon looking closer, this belt does have the registration number of 66170, which means this is either Anthro, Free People, or Urban Outfitters once again. If I had to guess, I would guess that this is a Free People or Anthro belt. I need to look a lot closer and see if maybe there is a logo embossed that kind of rubbed off or something somewhere, maybe. But otherwise, I will just do my due diligence, kind of like Googling it to figure out what this actually is. This seems a little, yeah, this is a small, and yeah, it's a small. Okay, we got like 3 little like bag sort of accessory items. So this first one is a really nice suede and leather pouch. It's got a little rubware at the corner here, but I could just tell it felt nice. So I took a peek at it, and right away this peeked out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just found a Balmain pouch. But this is a Balmain H&M pouch, which is actually fine. A lot of the H&M collabs with the luxury brands are actually made with really nice material, or they're really, really rare, so they really keep their value. I think I'd look this up and maybe I could get like 40, 50 for this, which is great for obviously like an H&M piece. But the zipper's super nice, and again, this is real leather and real suede, so that was a yes for sure. This is something I'll probably just keep just because I don't think I can get much for it, but it's this small Lululemon, small little pouch. I guess it's like a coin pouch or your AirPods or something. You probably put it on your bag at the gym and put your earbuds or your AirPods or something in it. And so that's probably what I'll do, honestly. I use headphones at the gym, not AirPods, so I'm still probably going to keep this just because I don't really know what else to do with it, and actually I do need a little coin pouch in my bag, so that would be perfect for that, so I'm going to throw that over to the side. Last up, before we get into shoes, is my last little bag situation. So this is like a raffia straw paper bag with this kind of like open, I want to say open knit, but like open weaving look to it. It's a small little top handle kind of pouch bag, and this is actually by J. Crew. So I was so excited to see that. I kind of assumed this was an older bag, and then when I got home, I was looking, and there is a little J. Crew tag that somehow was actually cut out, and this is from 2023. I guess as long as this actually goes with this bag, I don't know why it wouldn't, but this must be 2023. So I'll have to do more research on this, but of course, perfect time of year to find something like this. I'm super excited about that. Okay, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 pair of shoes in front of me, and at least 4 of them I would consider to be luxury shoe brands. So that is wild. And the ones that aren't are still really nice. So let's start off with these, I guess. So I did find a pair of Rothy's, which in the past would be like probably one of the most exciting finds of the day, but not in this haul. So here's the Rothy's logo at the bottom, and these are real Rothy's. The issue is they are both missing their insoles. So I was thinking either I can maybe order a pair of Rothy's soles in a size 9, or if someone is a Rothy's collector, they probably have another one that they can just kind of swap in and out, because yes, they both are missing the insoles. These are a really cute blue snake print, so I actually really like this print and color and style compared to some other ones I find. But I don't know, we'll have to see. When I found these, it reminded me of the SpongeBob clip where SpongeBob says, "But Squidward, they're good for your soul." And Squidward says, "I have no soul."
That thing is a heart attack on a bun.
No, Squidward, I meant good for your soul.
Oh, please. I have no soul.
That's like all that kept going through my head. So funny. Okay, so next up was a new brand to me, but I thought these were so cute, and I looked them up, and sure enough, they're a pretty decent brand. So these are some ultra cute little blue sporty looking sneakers. They are really nice blue suede, and they actually have like a terry cloth lining, which is usually something that nicer brands have, I've noticed. These are by a brand that is called Mecap, M-E-C-A-P. There's probably the best look at the logo that you can get. It says Mecap Libera Tutti. These are size 41 or a size 8, so I guess they're supposed to be men's, but honestly, I'll probably list them as men's and women's. So these would be like an 11 or 10 and a half women's, I guess. But when I looked these up, they are mainly, when I could find them, sold on Ukes, which is a designer kind of outlet store. And there, they were like, I think $200. So they definitely look like they have some value. I don't think they're a very widely known brand. Definitely seem like something to pick up at the bins. And they're very, very cute and trendy in my opinion. Next up, another brand that I don't know a ton about, but if you'll remember what sold Sunday last Sunday, I just sold to Trisha, actually, a pair of really nice wedges. Super expensive brand, super nice. And I kind of am getting the same vibe from this brand. So these are some canvas wedges. They have these like stripes to the front and the bottoms are super clean. They're a size 40, made in Spain. So the made in Spain obviously like triggered, these must be kind of nice for my brain. And these are called Tony Pons Originals. There is a look at the logo right there. When I looked this brand up, kind of like the Viscatas that I sold on Sunday, they look like they retail for about 150, maybe a little bit higher than that. And then they resell for about like 50 to 70. So I do think that these should do quite well. Sometimes when you find some of these more obscure brands, there are people that really like them or are loyal to them and obviously can't find them as much on the resale market. And I'm kind of hoping that that is the situation with these. Plus, they're just such good shape. Like, even if I didn't want these to sell myself, I easily could have got these to consign or something like that. Then we have a very trendy pair of shoes. These are some slingback little kind of mule loafers with a really nice brown leather. And these are by a brand called All Black. I'll show you the bottom because they're a little worn out on the inside. All black, they're size 38, which again, like 7.5. They're in great shape. There's a little bit of wear on each of them, kind of at the, like where your foot heel would go. But otherwise, fantastic shape. All Black is a decently expensive shoe brand. Again, I'm thinking the retail's around $125 to $175 for their shoes, but they definitely are a known brand. They have a following. They maybe can be sold at Anthro. I'd have to relook into that. But I've had them before and they've done well. And also with this being such a trendy style, I definitely wanted to grab those. I think those lead into these because we got a pretty similar style here, but I'm more excited about these ones actually. So these are some squared toe slingback kind of mule loafers. These ones actually have a little bit of a round block heel to them, and these are by Everlane. So I have kind of fallen out of love of selling Everlane, except shoes and like bags and accessories. So I was really, really excited to find these. These are an 8.5 and they're made in Italy. Everlane shoes are always so nice and well made. And these are just like classic, so trendy, so good for spring. I was so excited to find those. All right, we're getting better and better with these shoes. Next up is a pair, I was gonna say of sandals, but not necessarily. They're more of just like a strappy mule, even though your toes do get some breathing room in there. These are obviously a fun red color, as you can see. These are shoes by Farm Rio. I have never actually found Farm Rio shoes. I think I've sold a pair once that I arbitraged, but otherwise I've never had them. These were obviously sold at some kind of pop-up boutique or booth for, well, they tried to sell them for 20. I don't know why someone wouldn't pay 20 for these because Farm Rio shoes, like their clothing, are quite expensive. So obviously I'm gonna remove that tag and then list these. The only wear that these have is a little bit of rubbing to the red suede, and that kind of applies for, I guess, the heel a little bit. Just a little bit of rubbing. I don't think these were worn very many times, but they're made in Brazil. They're super nice, super good, nice material. Super excited to find these. It's just when you're comparing it to some of the stuff that lies ahead of us, these unfortunately have to take a little bit of a back seat. I even found at the bins this day a single Teak, which we all know, Teak's kind of like Rothy's, used to be so exciting, and I still do get, like, I guess because I'm like trained in it, I still get really excited when I find one or a pair. And I was like looking, and by the end, I still had that single Teak, and I was like, I do not even care that I didn't find the other one, and I just like threw it back in the shoe bin because it would have been low on the list of excitement when it's compared to all this stuff. Next up, before we get into the luxury shoes, is this pair of Chelsea boots. I have never tried this brand before, but I had heard of it. These are called Danner boots, and they are very, very expensive. I didn't know a ton about them, but this style of shoe is so popular and timeless with guys. I see shoes like this, boots like this, all over Minnesota all the time. Like, everybody has these boots. They have this really cool little, like, American flag tab, I guess, to each side. They also say Danner on the back. As you can see, they're a little dirty, but, like, for an outdoorsy workman's shoe, that's fine. These are size European 38 or US 7.5. Oh, so they're women's. Oh, so these are a women's shoe. Pardon moi. These are the women's Bull Run Chelsea wedge. Wow, I didn't know they had all this info, but they're made in the USA. They are super nice, real leather, all that type of stuff. Fun fact, when I was looking these up, Danner is also sold at Free People sometimes. I would have never guessed, but that's great. So, woman's 7.5 boots. Good to know. Okay, so we have 4 more pair of shoes, and they're all luxury. And this is just proof that this is going to be a 3-part haul because we're not even done with shoes yet. Okay, so first up for the luxury shoes is this fun pair of very, very strappy, I did wrap it around just to keep it better, but strappy, wrap around your ankle sandals. They have this really nice like fringe detail to the front. It's very kind of like cocktail party, summer beach party. There also is fringe at the end of the straps. And these are by the brand Aquazura. So I think it's easier to read in this shoe. Aquazura, a very, very expensive made in Italy shoemaker. Their shoe, like these sandals would retail for like $650+. And these things are like freaking brand spanking new. So I think that this is just a sticker residue. It almost looks like it was a Goodwill sticker, but I did not remove one. So that's kind of interesting. But I think that this woman tried these on once. Like tried them on. Did not wear them out, just tried them on. But they're size 41. Oh, they are Goodwill because of this little, they were $10 at a Goodwill. And nobody bought them. Really. Aquazura is like a little trickier to sell compared to other like really high-end shoe brands. But for $10, I would have got these at Goodwill. Well, they're mine now and they cost me like $2 or $3. Okay, so the next one. These are an amazing brand. They're not in the best shape, but really excited about the brand on these. So these are some little kind of ankle booty, heeled booty situations. I have not put any work into them yet, but the toes are a little like worn, but I can definitely leather condition that and make them look at least a little bit better. Same goes for kind of like the heel area. I can definitely make that at least look somewhat better. But these are by Manolo Blahnik, if you can see that in there. And I'm sure we all know Manolo Blahnik, but it is a very, very expensive, very well-known, very old brand that has had many spotlights in pop culture and stuff like that. So Manolos are fantastic to find, kind of like Christian Louboutins, but Louboutins I feel like maybe have a little more value and like cultural notoriety. But these are still fantastic. I'm so pumped. I like how the heel is kind of like a flared heel versus being just like a solid, straight, skinny stiletto. And really, besides just rub and kind of like age wear, there's nothing too crazy wrong. Like no big, deep scratches and no holes or anything like that. No really bad like chips in the wood. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped about these pumps. Like, I'm really excited, but not as excited as I am about these 2 pair of shoes. Y'all, I can't believe it. I was blessed. I was blessed on this day. So I was hauling these for Ryan and I couldn't decide. I wanted to show him like the better one last. And I don't know. It's hard to compare these two. They're both so good. So let's do these. You have seen both of these in the thumbnail anyways. Well, I guess you've seen the logo of these. So I did find a pair of Gucci shoes. There's the logo right there. That is like not a super old logo. So these are like decently more modern, at least since like probably 2015. These are some horsebit, classic Gucci horsebit driving moccasins, which if you caught our trend report, are weirdly kind of a micro trend happening right now. So perfect timing to find these. But I don't know if you can tell, but these are in such good shape. There's one of them Okay, so there's one of them that has a little bit of issues that I am going to bring to the cobbler because he is just so talented. This one has a little bit of splitting at the toe and a little bit of splitting at the heel. And I do think it would be worth me getting these fixed up to hopefully be able to sell them for more. Otherwise, the other one's in like fantastic shape, nothing wrong. And the nubs and stuff aren't even worn down. They're still very prominent and pronounced. So I don't really know how those rub marks happened, but that's totally fine. They are overall in fantastic shape. These are a size 6. No, they're a size 9.5. That's a G. Oops. These are a size 39.5. So like a 9, 9.5. You get it. Yeah. Gucci shoes. Like horse bit, slightly more modern Gucci shoes from the BINS. This leather is so nice. I cannot wait to get these like fixed up a bit and get them posted. So these probably won't be listed by the time that you see this. But like Gucci shoes at the BINS. It's been a hot minute since I found something like that at the BINS. But next is another pair of shoes. I don't know what this brand is. Alden. One of my BINS friends just had a bunch of shoe bags. And so because I found some good shoes, he let me have a couple, which is very kind of him. So these rolled out and they were like a bin down for me. And I was like, first off, they're most likely fake. Second off, you know somebody's gonna like snatch them. But I was still like, my eagle eye was right on them. Like they said go, people started to dig. Nobody was grabbing the one that I could see. So I leaned over and I grabbed this very nice silver leather star graphic sneaker. And sure enough, it had the logo on the inside that I assumed it would. And I saw the other one just kind of like sitting in the back of that bin. So I definitely grabbed that as well. And so I ended up with a pair of Golden Goose sneakers. These are the May sneaker. There is the GGDB Golden Goose logo right there. So you might be able to tell these aren't in that good a shape, but if you know Golden Goose, the whole thing is that they're distressed. If you go into Nordstrom and see the Golden Goose stand, they all look like they've been run over by a car. These ones, I will say, have definitely still been beaten further than the factory did. So there is peeling to the back leather here on this like gold kind of metallic area. And there also is a little bit of cracking to some of the silver. The cracking might be factory done, but this peeling is definitely not. Also, I do need to get the soles slightly glued down again. This person definitely loved these and wore them to death, but I can confirm that these are authentic. They have the 39 size right there, and they are made in Italy. They have all of the correct Golden Goose like markings and stuff, specifically on the sole. So Golden Goose always has the GGDB on the different insoles kind of cut out like that. All of this marking lines up perfectly. It says genuine leather made in Italy. It has the size again. There's also kind of like a code that goes on the bottom of the sole. The stitching of how the inner sole is down there is exactly like it's supposed to be. And actually Ryan does have a pair of silver Golden Goose that he got from the real ones that are obviously authentic. And these, everything lines up perfectly. I looked up the May. This is exactly what the May looks like. So again, I need to do a little bit of work with these, but the benefit is that Golden Goose is supposed to look beat. So even though I won't be able to fix the peeling of it, that's okay. So I'm so excited. Also, if you caught that, these are the same size. I mean, this is 39.5. This is 39. But the fact that they were in the same shoe rotation, I can guarantee that these are from the same person. And I know for a fact, well, I knew for a fact instantly that these were real just because I've had a number of Gucci shoes, which also just strengthens these. I mean, I still probably will real authenticate them or something like that, but I am 99.99% sure they are real. Also, another sign that this person loved and used these, both these shoelaces are replaced. So this person loved these shoes, and Ryan really likes his, so I could see that. So those will probably be listed because I don't have to fix up as much. I'm not going to bring them to a cobbler. I have shoe glue, and I'm just going to snip off some of the like really bad loose peeling on the back. And then I'll just list them with some of the other flaws that they have. But that is mind-blowing. That is my first time finding Golden Goose. So that's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna do just a little bit of clothing, and then I'm gonna let you guys go until next Tuesday. I also want to make these too long because I want you guys to like be able to actually absorb and watch through all of them. Actually, you know what? I think we are just going to cut this off here because it doesn't really make sense to just like do 5 pieces of clothing right at the end. So this is probably the shortest of the 3 parts, but I think it was nice to kind of be able to separate all the shoes and the bags. Let me know what's your favorite, maybe like 1 or 2 pair of shoes that I found. What were they? What do you think of all these? Would you picked all these up as well? Like this brand I had never heard of, or these espadrille wedges. Have you tried any of these brands? Do you have experience with them? Would you still have got the Rothy's without a sole in them? Let me know. Otherwise, again, most of this, probably all besides the Gucci mocks, are going to be listed by the time that you see this. But I hope that you guys are excited for next Tuesday and next week in general, where we are going to finish out the clothing, which is honestly the part that I was sweating and running around the most for. And there is plenty of luxury to be seen and had. Plenty of designer, plenty of luxury. I'm very excited to share with you guys. So I will catch you guys on Sunday for a regular What Sold Sunday with Ryan. Otherwise, I will see you next Tuesday where we will begin the clothing of this great beginning of the Hallapalooza. Goodbye.